Welcome to the Fly Route Pod. I'm going to cut to the chase. About 96% of y'all watching this video have not subscribed, and I need that number to go up to continue to make these videos and support the channel. So slam that subscribe button on your screen right now and hit the notification bell. And while I have you, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag is the best place for you to get your sports betting on. MyBookie.ag has live in-game betting on every NFL game for my diehard cappers and prop bets such as the over-under on fantasy points. Use promo code FLY and receive a 100% match on your first deposit up to $1,000. That's double your money to double your winnings with your first ever deposit using promo code FLY. Welcome to the final segment of the show, the heart of the show, Ballers Bouquet. Too often in the media, people only want to focus on the negative and salacious things athletes do, but never want to give them their credit where credit is due. Here, I like to make a change. So this week's Ballers Bouquet goes to Leonard Fournette of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for his Hurricane Ida relief efforts. Now, Leonard Fournette has donated over $100,000 to several charities on the ground supporting relief efforts in the wake of Hurricane Ida. He specifically tried to choose New Orleans-based grassroots nonprofits that are giving families and children and other people in vulnerable situations such as the elderly the things that they need to survive the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. And it's important because he says this: when it comes down to it, the city, the state will need a lot of relief money and labor. The hurricane left a lot of people without power and homes, shelter, food, etc. Now, Leonard Fournette is actually from New Orleans. He played for Louisiana State University, and he personally lived through Hurricane Katrina. He talks about it. He talks about how he wants to use his platform to help out the city and everyone that's around Louisiana, how his city of New Orleans was absolutely devastated. They had to start all over. They had to get a new house, and he was only 10 at the time. He had to evacuate and spend time on an interstate because it was the only thing high enough above sea level to keep people safe. He talks about how they had to loot pharmacy for medicine for their grandparents, how they had to steal for food and other essentials, how he saw dead bodies floating in the water, and how that trauma kind of stuck with him, but impacts him in a way that makes him want to do the most that he can to help others experiencing a similar catastrophe. Now, because of this, he has set up the fund called Leonard Cares NOLA and has encouraged individuals, other players in his organization, and anybody that can to donate to Leonard Cares NOLA. And I want to point out that this is a fund that affects multiple different nonprofits, and I want to point out a couple of them and the things that they do for the people of Louisiana and why it's important, such as All Hands and Hearts, who addresses the long-term and immediate needs for communities impacted by natural disasters such as shelter, housing, food, water. Cajun Navy Relief, who does things such as boat rescues for people that are in areas where they're completely flooded out. They work with Direct Relief, who's committed an initial $1 million in financial resources and over $100 million in inventory for medicine, medical supplies, to shelters, health clinics, etc. Now, all of this is also done in partnership with the Second Harvest Food Bank of Greater New Orleans. Obviously, what they do is provide access to food, but they also work on things such as education and disaster response as well. So if you would like to help out and you think any of these organizations are worth giving to help the victims of Hurricane Ida, you can go into the description of this video and you will find a link to Leonard Fournette's Spot Fund, and you can donate directly to his relief fund that helps all of these organizations do the most that they can to help people in some of the most precarious situations that they can be in. And that was this week's Ballers Bouquet.